Hi, thank you for joining us on this episode of Sports Bets for Free. My name is Scott Jenkins, your host, just a local sports bettor here in Phoenix, Arizona. And hopefully today with our picks and your picks, it's going to be another profitable day for you. We're going to get on to college basketball, the NCAA tournament, March Madness Round 2, getting on Saturday. A lot of games going on, all these to get to the Sweet 16. We're going to go through a little bit what we've got so far for Sweet 16 and the Elite 8 and Final 4. So we'll go through those first just to let you know. So before the tournament started, we did take Illinois to make the Sweet 16. They're obviously playing Saturday here as well. Grand Canyon, which still has we haven't got quite to that game on Friday night. Baylor, which got a big win on Thursday. James Madison to play Friday night. Marquette. Big win for them as well, and a comeback in Creighton as well. The only team we don't have, we had a small wager on, was Drake, as they did get beat by Washington State in the first round. So we still have 6 of the 7 teams that we liked for the Sweet 16. We would have bet UConn, stuff like that too, but you're betting like big minus numbers. Doesn't make maybe a ton of sense. If we get one of these long shots to make it like James Madison or Grand Canyon to get through, definitely help. Illinois and Marquette, though, were our 2 biggest bets on those as well. So that's what we're looking at for the Sweet 16. The Elite 8 came out of that as well. Illinois, Houston, Baylor, and Creighton. So all still alive in that one. And then you can take those same 4 teams for the basically to win their regional or make the Final 4 of Houston, Illinois, Baylor, and Creighton. So as long as they stay alive, we're going to be in good shape. We get all 4 of them to the Sweet 16, then we can definitely we'll parse ahead and make some money. But let's get into those Saturday matchups for the round of 32 on that one there. So we'll start off. Arizona, Dayton is going to be the first game out of the chute. On that one there. So 9:45 our time here in Phoenix, so 12:45 Eastern. Arizona right around 9.5 point favorite, 149.5 total. But to be really honest, in this game, both teams can play really good defense. That's kind of what we're going to bank this game on. The 9.5, 10 number is probably correct. I think Arizona probably wins this game somewhere between 8 and 12, depending on free throws at the end of the game. But Dayton can play some D. Don't let them fool you here. Arizona can as well. So we did play the total in this game. We like the under 149.5. So we did take it Arizona and Dayton under 70.5 in the first half, under 149.5 for the game. One more time in that Arizona-Dayton matchup, we've got Arizona and Dayton under 70.5 points in the first half, under 149.5 for the game. Next game up, Gonzaga, Kansas. I'm going to be really honest here. Did not expect to see either one of these teams. I thought there was going to be 2 big upsets in this region here. Gonzaga favored somewhere 3.5 to 4.5. That line is continuing to move. Gonzaga did play extremely well first matchup out. Kansas got off to 10-point lead basically at halftime and damn near lost the game at the end of the game in this one. We love Gonzaga here. One of our favorite plays for Saturday on round 2. So give us Gonzaga at -2 in the first half, -3.5 for the game. Gonzaga -2 in the first half, -3.5 for the game. Next game up, Michigan State, North Carolina. And a 1 and a 9 here. So I'm not quite sure why this line's only 3.5. This line should be 5.5, I thought. Maybe even a little bit more. We see 2 versus 7 at 9.5. We see a 2 versus 7 at 6.5. We see a 2 versus 10 at 3.5. And we're only seeing a 1-9 matchup at 3.5. So not quite sure where they're kind of coming up with this matchup here. But we'll be more than happy to only have to lay the 3.5. In fact, our best bet for round 2 on Saturday is coming out of this game. It's North Carolina -1.5 in the first half and -3.5 for the game. One more time, North Carolina -1.5 in the first half and -3.5 for the game. Next game up, is going to be Iowa State, Washington State. So Iowa State, Big 12 conference tournament winner. Them and Houston were pretty much the cream of the crop all season long in the Big 12. Washington State did finish second out west. They got extremely lucky to be here against Drake. Drake could not score in the last 2 minutes of their matchup. So I think Washington State definitely got a bonus to be here. Iowa State has probably I'd say, top 3 defense in the country. Houston's right there as well. But they are suffocating on the defensive side of the ball and can't figure out how to put up enough points. So we'll take Iowa State in this matchup here. So Iowa State -4 in the first half, -6.5 for the game. One more time, Iowa State -4 in the first half, and then -6.5 for the game. Next game up, Colorado Marquette. We have not played anything in that yet, but we probably will come back to that one, as that Marquette number is looking pretty nice on there. So Colorado Marquette, make sure you do check out the Google Sheets at the end of every show that we do, as we'll probably update that and have a bet before that game tips off tomorrow. The next game up, it's going to be 4:10 out here in Phoenix, so 7:10 Eastern. Oakland, who beat Kentucky, huge win for them. Now they're going to go play NC State. NC State gets a big win. So NC State won the 5 games in a row in the ACC tournament, then gets the first tournament win. And they're a 6.5-point favorite in this one over Oakland. I understand it's a Power 5 school against non-Power 5 school, trust me, but NC State should not be favored by 6.5 in this game. This game should be closer to like 3, but we'll take the points here with Oakland. In fact, we think Oakland's going to get a straight up win and make the Sweet 16 here on this one. So we'll take Oakland. We took them +3 in the first half. We also took Oakland money line in the first half. Oakland +6.5 for the game, as well as Oakland money line for the game. Oakland money line was like +215 roughly on DraftKings. Money line in the first half was like +172 at FanDuel if you're shopping those numbers around. So one more time, Oakland money line and +3 for the first half. Oakland money line and +6.5 for the game going against NC State. I just think that story is coming to an end for NC State. It's been a hell of a run, but beyond that, I don't foresee that going any further there. Next game up, 5 o'clock out here in Phoenix, so 8 o'clock Eastern. Texas, Tennessee. Colorado State was ice cold. Texas kind of took advantage of that in the first half in their first game out. Tennessee steamrolled. This is where Rick Barnes tends to normally lose games for his teams. He can get by at like a 2-15, but once we get started going here, I mean, if you ask me, Tennessee's definitely the better team here. This is all a fate of Rick Barnes, the coach for the Volunteers here on this one. I'll be really honest, I thought Texas was pretty lucky to even make the tournament here and to be a 7th seed on this one. But that Big 12 conference is so powerful, it carries a lot of weight. So I believe 8 teams or so made it from the Big 12 conference. But we like actually Texas in this matchup here. We'll take the points. Like I said, I think this is straight up. Rick Barnes figures out a way to F this game up, so to speak. So give us Texas plus the 3.5 in the first half, plus 6.5 for the game. One more time, Texas plus 3.5 in the first half, and then also plus 6.5 for the game. Next game up, Duquesne, Illinois. Duquesne gets a big win, beat a 6th seed. Their defense is pretty solid, no question about that. Illinois, 9.5-point favorite, 148.5 total. Considering going back and playing the total here as well, but here's the difference though. Illinois has went over in it seems like 80% of their games in the last month and a half plus. So Illinois, 9.5-point favorite, Big 12 conference tournament champion. If you haven't seen Shannon play for them, he is a fantastic scorer of the ball. Duquesne, on the other hand, like I said, relies a lot on their defense, creating turnovers. Don't see Illinois doing that, as it's a pretty experienced ball club here. We already went over. We've got Illinois. We've got bets on them for the Sweet 16, Elite 8, and Final 4. So we'll lay the points with Illinois here. -5.5 first half, -9.5 for the game. One more time, Illinois -5.5 first half, and then also -9.5 for the game. Next game up is going to be, or I'm sorry, is Yale's. I'm sorry here. Let me take a quick peek at that again. Oh, Yale, South Dakota State, or San Diego State. On that one there, Yale, a 5.5 point dog to San Diego State. We really don't have a lean too much on this game. If we're going to lean, I guess, any direction, it'd be San Diego State here laying the points. 5.5 and then 127.5 total. Then we'll get to the last game on Saturday. It's going to be 6:40 out here in Phoenix, so 9:40 Eastern time. We've got Oregon and Creighton. Oregon gets a nice win, another 11, knocking off a 6 seed. One of those teams, again, got extremely lucky to get into the tournament. Weren't going to make it unless they won the Pac-12 championship. And guess what they went out there and did? They win that championship. They're a 5.5 point dog to Creighton. 145.5 total. Creighton's been one of the best, probably 12 to 15 teams all season long. They've been steady, consistent. Now, Oregon has came on, no question about it. We loved Oregon in the first matchup. I don't like them here in this one. We thought Creighton would get this matchup before the tournament started, and we think Creighton 5.5 is not enough. I think they win this game by closer to double digits. So give us Creighton minus 2.5 in the first half, minus 5 for the game. There is 5 still out there, so make sure you shop that around if you like Creighton. So Creighton minus 2.5 first half, and then minus 5 for the game. So that's a rundown for Saturday's games. We'll also be back for Sunday's games, as we've got a couple already in the books. That for Sunday, Connecticut, Northwestern. After that big win for Northwestern, making a comeback in that one, I really kind of like UConn to kind of cover and smash that. Baylor and Clemson, the other one. Clemson was the only 6 seed so far to kind of hold up against the 11s. Baylor has been fantastic. I mean, they've been really, really good. They can shoot the three. They can play some defense. They have a lot of weapons on that side of the ball. So a couple leans were probably early. Haven't made a play on yet, but Baylor and Connecticut for the Sunday game so far. But we did give you a lineup for the Saturday ball games, round 2. So round of 32. Winners go to the Sweet 16. So make sure you do check out our Google Sheets at the end of every show that we do. There will be a link in the comments section. You'll read docs.google.spreadsheet, bunch of other stuff behind it. That is your link into our ledger. So it'll have every bet that we've made, what juice we got that at, how many units we placed on it, and then also what book we placed it at, and then also the result. So if you wanted to go through round 1, for example, round 1 wasn't that fabulous for us. We had a great start to round 1. Then it kind of fell off a little bit. For round 1 for the Thursday games, we hit Michigan State, we hit Creighton, Samford didn't hit. Drake was kind of costly at the end, as well as Colorado State and McNeese. We weren't the only ones that got burned on those games, but it kind of is what it is, right? So we were just a little over 11 units down. We start off Friday. We start off 7-1. Looks like we're about to lose our first bet. Our second bet, though, for Friday, Nebraska at the halftime, and Vermont falling quite a bit behind at half. But a lot of still bets for there to go. Grand Canyon's another big one for us for the Sweet 16 as well, as they were big time. It was 6-1 to make the Sweet 16. So still got a lot of things going on there. So make sure you check out those Google Sheets. If you're just looking for the basketball plays, I will warn you when you get in there. There's going to be several sports. There's 2 seasons of baseball, 2 seasons of football, then the basketball 23-24, and then just scroll down to the end of the page as we keep track of everything daily. And then if you want to see some golf or Formula One bets as well, you'll see those have their own tab as well. So if you like betting multiple sports, this is a spot for you. So make sure you do check out those Google Sheets when you get some time. And as always, if you could subscribe and get notifications to our YouTube channel, makes life really simple to find us. Once you hit that subscribe button, you'll get every time we do drop a new episode of bets, you'll get a notification in your subscription tab with a little dot behind it. And then if you turn notifications on for YouTube, you'll get a notification to your phone or device to let you know Sports Bets for Free has dropped a new episode of bets. Give you plenty of time to match those up with your bets and give you that ton of confidence you need heading to the betting app or betting window. I do appreciate everybody's support as always, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.